If one were to accept words at face value, then Pakistan would seem to be a victim of terrorism, and wokeism would appear as the epitome of liberalism rather than a form of mental instability, and the Lutyens' cabal would be equally as patriotic as any soldier. Here's another example from current events unfolding before us. A significant portion of the population is either genuinely naive or are pretending as one. By celebrating the supposed vigilantism of Hindenburg in doing market correction, they are ignoring the economic warfare being waged against the nation. Now, you may believe that we have digressed from the primary subject, but my humble answer will be a no. The rot of victimology is far deeper and pervasive than we can grasp without delving deeper into the many facets of this charade. Hi and welcome to TFI Post. I am your host Paurush Gupta. Let's begin with the video report. Recently, the Supreme Court reserved its judgment on the writ petition filed by alleged journalist Rana Ayoob. In her writ petition, she had pleaded before the Apex Court to quash the ongoing proceedings taking in the special PMLA court in Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh. The Enforcement Directorate had accused Rana Ayoob of misappropriating charitable donations for her personal gains. In her submissions before the two-judge bench, Vrinda Grover, representing Rana Ayoob, argued that the UP Code had no jurisdiction in the matter as no part of the alleged offence took place in the state. She added that there is a threat to her client's personal liberty. She further remarked that the complainant Vikas Pandey, a member of Hindu IT cell, has no grievance and has not been cheated by her client Rana Ayoob. Opposing her anticipatory bail, the ED argued that the journalist Rana Ayoob had collected crores through crowdfunding platforms. She raised hefty donations to help slum dwellers, COVID-19 affected persons, and some work in Assam. Contrary to Rana Ayoob's proclaimed noble intentions, ED accused her of using donations for her personal enjoyment, luxuries, and even alleged that she siphoned off donations into her family's personal accounts. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, appearing for the ED, demolished the arguments made by Rana Ayoob's counsel Vrinda Grover. First, on the question of jurisdiction, Mr. Mehta submitted that the prosecution complaint was filed in the Ghaziabad court by the agency as part of the cause of action had arisen in Uttar Pradesh. He highlighted that many people, including from Ghaziabad, had donated money for her crowdfunding campaign. He also alleged that donated money was misrepresented as expenses for groceries and fake bills. It was also used to purchase personal luxury items and for personal consumption. Moreover, he countered by emphasizing that if someone decides to engage in money laundering in Singapore or Trivandrum, would the agency have to travel there and file a case? Later he said, this is not the scheme of the law. Propagandists like Rana Ayoob are just a cog in the larger wheel of inimical forces. Apart from the angle of narrative, ideology, ego tussle, or power grab, victimology has deep economic motives. By continuously portraying themselves as victim of state-sponsored oppression, they audaciously run such Ponzi schemes. Whether it's TMC leader Saket Gokhale or Nobel fact-checker Mohammad Zubair, there are plenty of such entities who are profiting from portraying themselves as victims. Both Saket and Zubair have pulled a similar donation scam like Rana Ayoob. They exploit the victim psyche of a significant portion of the population who feel disenchanted from the current regime. As they face increased scrutiny for their deliberate misappropriation, they gain more financial benefit by pretending to be victims and manipulating public emotions. This is why, instead of defending themselves, they try to encash the maximum out of their victim card. But it's important to note that this strategy too has its limitations. The more they become embroiled in illegal actions, the closer their inevitable doomsday approaches.